everybody? Big Herc916, and you tune in to another edition of my vlog. I like to keep you guys laced up and just on top of your game, giving you information that help you prosper in life. And I often talk about things to inspire and motivate, and people don't understand how relevant history is to today's social climate. And there's a lot of things about our history that have been covered up, falsified in order to make people acquiesce to a lot of things that are going on around them. And one of the greatest enemies of a lot of, I would say especially black people, is themselves, because the lack of knowledge, the lack of history keeps them in the dark, and it prevents you from moving forward so that you can create change and somehow try to make a legacy for your children. We focus on a lot of the wrong things. The biggest I see is financial literacy, is knowing how to manage finances when we do have them, and just the threat of our own, the threat of another black individual imposing their will on someone that looks like them. I call it bully Coonery. And it's bully Coonery because these people aren't imposing their dominance on an alpha. They're not going after the system itself. They're imposing on other already oppressed individuals. And when you look at that whole pool of people, young black men who are trapped in that bully culture, bully Coonery on each other. And it's Coonery because you're actually tools for the system. You're regulating the other males who could possibly do their own thing or have an opinion. You're really working for the man. You're working for the man, and you don't even realize it, man. You go get your straps from the alpha, and when the alpha sends out their enforcers, they come around. You see the sirens, and when they say cuff up, you cuff up. But you are openly and willingly embracing killing other young men that look like yourself over nothing. You own nothing, man. You don't own any property. You don't own any resources. You don't manufacture anything. And lo and behold, if you actually were able to all come together with that type of just aggressive attitude, personality, you could run some shit. You could really turn around and buy up everything that you're fighting over and establish a base and create some real change, man. And we're playing catch up, man. Black men out there is everybody wants, yeah, okay, you got athletes, you got some entertainers, 0.005% or whatever it is that are made it, that got a chunk of change. But it's not enough in numbers to really impact anything economically. They say over 1.3 trillion goes through the black hands. The community, the blacks make up like 13 point something % of the population. over 50% of the prison population. Dude, the numbers are all jacked up, and they own, what is it, less than 1% of the land wealth in this country? Why is that, man? Well, for one, when the slaves were freed, they weren't given nothing. They weren't given shit. They were kicked out, and they weren't allowed to own property because they weren't considered actual human beings. Dred Scott case, he couldn't even buy back his freedom, man. They added some amendments after his case went to the Supreme Court, but the original Constitution of 1787 wasn't really intended for blacks. That's why blacks didn't own anything. But if you were an immigrant coming over to the United States during that time, settlers were able to claim 320 or 640 acres of land for free between 1850 to 1854, then at a cost of $1.25 per acre until the law expired in 1855. Now, if blacks could have got in on that, we'd be rich as F. We'd be balling. The blacks, man, would have bought their own farms and worked together and been balling, making money, doing their thing. It'd have been a totally different climate right now. Blacks would be, running towns. There would be a role reversal because they had the work ethic. No matter how bad they try to say, oh man, they were like, nah, man, they were overworked, underpaid, enslaved. But this is what went on. And so when people say, well, that was a long time ago, it wasn't, 100 years, 1955, another 100 years, another, 80 years after that, 70 years after that. I mean, it's not that long ago, so when you talk about how long it takes to change a mentality of a group of people, it's a lot of work, man. It's not like it can happen overnight, especially when, up into the 1950s, 60s, you still had, people getting lynched. And I'm just kicking game because, people say, oh, Big Herc, sometimes, you sound like a sellout, you do this and that, you cooning. I'm cooning, nigga. I done did more street shit than half you guys who ever seen my channel. But at the same time, I educated myself, and I realized even before I was doing that stuff that I was selling myself short. I got bamboozled. I bought into the bully Coonery, doing, trying to impose my dominance among other young men because of where they were from, where I was from. Straight to stupidity. Had I really been on my P's and Q's and trying to network with these cats, could have been bossed up, man. Could have been really putting down some moves and, bought up some shit. So I had to start late. I had to, educate myself and get around some real G's, some older mentors, some brothers who put me up on some game and put me on some literature that opened my eyes up. And I don't blame you young people out there for doing the stuff you do, for trying to get the fast fame and money, for the gang banging, man. I know it's by design, man. They when you overcome one obstacle, they got to throw something else at you to keep you caught up, to keep you not looking at what's really going on, so that you don't see that if you get out of that, you actually become a major factor. So I don't blame you, man. I'm just trying to put a lot of game on the table so that you can learn how to eat and realize that. Read your history, man. Read your history. Study up on a lot of what went down and how we were pitted against each other as mortal enemies for entertainment, and that's still what's going on today. And I commend brothers who have been able to overcome that, brothers who get together, who put together these treaties in different neighborhoods, who see that there's a way out. And when you do that, man, that's when you become a factor. That's when you really start changing, things, communities and things around you. But we got to get the financial literacy together. We got to get the black men to, come together, stay in the household with the kids, to network with other black men who have ambition. Because if with all this stacked against us, we were still able to come up, god damn, man, we are some very, we're some determined people, man, and there's no reason why we can't make things happen at the next level. But we got to learn to love each other first, man. We got to learn to love each other and support each other and not hate on each other, and recognize that among us are kings, but among us are also peasants. And I mean peasants because, you'll have the one in the corner, the hater. You have the troll. You got the ones who are the really lumps, the ones who are trying to pull you down. So don't think everybody is kings among you. It's not everybody, man. There's a couple, and a lot of them other ones are just goddamn peasants, man. And I'm gonna keep it real. But the game, man, it's crazy when you really sit back and look at it. And I know because, I've been pushing on my other channel, Fresh Out, for some years now. And because I'm not doing the buffoonery, I'm not, running around, talking like a institutionalized nigga. I don't get the views that a lot of other channels get, or get the accolades. And it's a fact, man. I've talked to some people who were interested in taking us to the next level on TV, and they said, Big Herc, you're glorifying prison. I'm like, what do you mean glorifying it, man? They're saying, well, man, you're showing prisoners, ex-felons that got out, ex-convicts, and now they're successful. They got good jobs, they got businesses, they're popular on YouTube. We want to see the guy who's about to go back. We want to see the guy who couldn't make it, who's struggling. We want to see those people, the ones who are, on the verge of committing another crime. And I'm like, why? There's enough of that, man. That's not what this is about. That's not what I'm about. That's not what my mission statement or my vision's about. It's about showing kids that, dude, you can be somebody coming from the block. You can turn your life into something that's very productive. So the plan is bigger, man, than me. It's bigger than a lot of what you see around you. And, it's tied into a lot of what you hear and the music and all this other stuff, man, because it's a win-win on their end. But, once you start, getting your paper straight and start elevating, moving into these different neighborhoods and places, and they like, man, this dude is living right next door. How did he get here? How did he afford this? That's why people ask you, what do you do for a living? I'd never ask anybody that because I think it's disrespectful, but I've been asked that many times. Well, what do you do? Oh my God, how many cars do you have? Where do you live at? They do this trying to count your pocketbook, man. They trying to check your paper, man, because they know which they have, and they look at what you have, and they trying to figure out how you get what you got with all the obstacles. It's like a Raiders of a Lost Ark course, jumping through snake pit, spike balls, flames, and you still made it, my nigga. You still made it. Come on, people, man. I love y'all, man. Wake the hell up, man. Let's get this paper, man. Big Herc916.
Hey. I got that work. Hey. See? While y'all in quarantine, I got that work. Split the coronavirus wig, man. Hey. Go to the link in the description and get your limited edition coronavirus wig splitter shirts. Big Herc916 getting down Fresh Out.